just for the lighting.
Just lighting.
Yeah.
Just lighting.
Yeah.
Just lighting. And usually it's with lighting, I'm the first one to step off the bus, and I'm the last one to step on every single day. It's challenging every single day. Working from 8 a.m. to 3 a.m., 2 a.m. the next day, So, everybody you work with and you live with on a bus, you have to make sure you get along, and, it's a shit sandwich.
Hey everybody, welcome to ProfitDig Live. We're glad you're here with us. I'm Jeff Gibbons. We've got a couple special guests tonight. Philip Greer.
Hey.
Seth O. Williams.
Hey.
Returning guest for us.
Yes, sir.
And this guy over here down the end is Christopher Work. And as always, producer Jerry behind the camera. Thanks for tuning in. We're glad you guys are here with us.
Yeah, appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, thanks for the call.
Yeah. I like to come hang out. So look, when ProfitDig calls,
You pick up.
You got me in the fun night. This is going to be a good call. That's a good call.
I like it. The weddings we've interrupted and everything else.
Yeah, speaking of weddings, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's right. Yeah.
10-13. Finally, me and my wife been together for like 10 years. So she's put up with a lot. Bless your heart.
Well, isn't after 7 is like common law marriage or something?
Yeah. I think in Tennessee it doesn't matter. You can still take half.
That's all you get. It's more liabilities.
And we, it's basically, but we just need to finally just do the thing, and she got to have her how I planned it all. I couldn't take credit for much of anything except for I just told her when we drove out, I had to drive out on my 3-wheeler. So so we put the little framers and cans and stuff behind it.
That's cool.
So I was like, that's what we have to do. So I was like, that's my only thing. I'll take the rest of this
Small request.
I didn't know. Can you still buy a 3-wheeler or is it just the oldie?
It's the one I got.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook Marketplace, guys. Be looking for a 3-wheeler.
1983 Big Red. Hey,
They're rare.
Yeah, they are. The one I got, my dad actually bought brand new, and I've been riding it since I was a kid. So it's in really good condition and stuff. And it sits in the garage and it gets babied, and I use it too, which is nice.
Nice.
Yeah. If you ever see that picture of like
the list price.
Priceless.
That picture of Andre the Giant riding that 3-wheeler. That's what everybody sees. Little bitty 3-wheeler. Like he's just like orange or a toothpick riding by. Yeah. All right. Well, cool. Well, Seth, I think you were telling us you've been real busy working on prep for some show work. Maybe just a reminder. If anybody didn't see the first, what do you do? Repeat offender, so I'm coming back. Repeat offender. Tell us a little bit about what you do. I do lighting and the music industry, and mostly concerts and touring. I've done some small film stuff and conventions and stuff like that. It's all a little different, but mostly anything having to do with lighting. So, obviously all the lights in here. So you gotta. We took some advice from you last time. Hey, look,
that's right. Yeah.
Diffused, and then you have. That's where you're at. Thank y'all. I see what y'all are doing. I'm working on it. That's great. I love it. And then also in the past couple of years, I started teaching a middle school, Burns Middle School workshop for the drama club, and then also doing stuff at the high school this past year. So awesome. I'm actually looking at this coming semester or year doing basically a workshop and stuff where they're, you just had drama club instead of trying to show kids. It's like, hey, there is a huge career in this. You can do anything from rigging to Drafting, any type of stuff like that. Like there's literally so much to it. So
all those memories you've made along the way.
That's right. I know. I'd like to. I try to tell them and like be like, watch out for this. Like those, those horrible gigs, you got to take them, but just get through it. It builds character. Right. You don't know when it stops, but the characters build.
Yeah, it's redundant. We're part of that look like terrible situation. Well, it builds character.
It builds character. That's right. Walk through the mud.
Walk through the mud. That's right.
That's right.
I just want the mud to end.
It's like, well, I'm at the age now. I'm done with mud.
Yeah.
Clear.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us a little about maybe some of the work you've been doing lately.
Just doing. So I get plenty of sketches and stuff for the rig, basically just where lights they basically want them to be positioned. And what type of fixture that they're going to use.
So what's a rig?
So when I say rig, like when you go to a concert, say any type of concert, if you look up, that's considered all of the lighting that's in there is in one system. So you have to, it's basically what I call a rig, like a system in itself. So each fixture has to have power and data to each one. So say if you want to turn it right, you have to be able to communicate that to that fixture to turn right, and it's basically just a bunch of binary code that's information.
What kind of either like protocol or
so DMX is the protocol is what it's called, and then there's actually two other like sub protocols. You have streaming ACN or ArtNet, which basically streaming ACN sends information one direction, whereas ArtNet is like you get to talk to that fixture. So say if you send data, it can send something back. Not all lights can do that, but some are. Can. So
like, is that like fairly new technology, or are we talking like 20, 30 years?
20, 30 years, yeah. It's all keeps progressing. It's mostly the protocols are basically that. There's not anything really new that they add to that or trying to get outside of that.
It's just the software maybe gets
better. So there's two different types of consoles that you can use that are like made. Every concert, everything has to have some type of control. So that's where these consoles come in, where you can program it to change these colors and move this way. And a lot of that interaction is what's changing. So because you can run wireless, like I run wireless off my iPad a lot of times if I'm like just walking around trying to like check a fixture because I'm in a huge arena, and it's like, 50 feet up, and I just can call it up on my iPad and pull it up and do a little, test on it if that needs to happen. But so that interaction stuff is changing as well, especially with the augmented reality stuff. Like these kids are starting to hook that up to it, and like you can like
yeah, that's cool. We've with my company we've been playing around with augmented reality as well. We call it mixed reality, where you can bring in like pure augmented reality, plus you can also see like the real world environment. You can superimpose 3D images. You can have controls and do it. Yeah, so super cool technology. Yeah, It's kind of the biggest challenge I've seen though with that is like the headsets still aren't where we really want them. Like there's no cool headsets. I know Meta's working on some like sunglasses.
Yeah.
They're a little big, still not totally where they need to be. But 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we're probably all going to be walking around with glasses with heads up displays in them.
All right, you just get that chip put in the back end.
Smell like yacht.
Will I roll those lifelike control points in, or like data points?
Yeah, so each one of them will have specifically an address. So, and what we call universes. So DMX can only run up to 512 channels. And so basically, red is a channel, yellow is a channel. Like each fixture, some type of movement or anything like that is basically associated with a channel. So you'll have some that are 48 channels, and then that's 40 different types of movements that you want to happen in that fixture. So, and they have like profiles. So it's like, this specific type of profile for this fixture is this, and you can actually change from like you want this
automation.
Exactly. Same type of scenario. But the consoles are what differ from one from another. So actually, sitting down and programming it and doing all this. You know, it just, you have to build up basically yourself to work in that direction. So that way your workflow just goes quicker. Like I have a hard time actually being able to like sit down and lay everything out and then return back to it because I end up being such a ground guy with like, hey, the daily task and making sure like touring, we're still moving forward. So like by the midday, my day, I'm already planning for the next day. You know, how my trucks are going to get loaded and everything like that. So it's a lot of planning and a lot of stuff that I have to stay forward on, you know. So anytime I do like pre-work or any type of paperwork or anything like that, I have to make sure that it's like correct, because I can go back and fix it. And if it is, it's going to be a pain in the rear. It always is. So
what's a crew look like? Like I say, a larger show or venue. How many people are we talking about it?
So standard, usually, if you go to like an arena show at Bridgestone or anything like that, arena shows are usually 4 to 5 man crews. So like you have crew chief, which that's what
but just for the lighting.
Just lighting. Yeah. Just lighting. Yeah. Just lighting. So, and usually lighting crews and video crews are the largest. Audios, you kind of do depending, but you know, mostly arena size, your lighting crews and video crews are going to be your biggest ones. Because it's a lot of gear to be like built, and usually it's with lighting, I'm the first one to step off the bus, and I'm the last one to step on every single day because all of my stuff has to go above everybody's head. Yeah, so I have to be the first one every single day. So I have a long day, but usually it's 4 to 5 man crews with that, depending on stuff. So I just did 2 nights at Red Rocks, and I had me plus 3. So actually, I had me plus 4. For that, so because that's a big show. It's not arena size, but it's definitely very specific with how they have to load in all your gear and stuff, and each venue is different.
I've heard from a lot of people that Red Rocks is their favorite venue.
It holds a special place in my heart, that's for sure. Yeah, it's a good spot. I think everybody should at least go at least once in their life.
Yeah, I've been to the amphitheater, but I've never seen a show there.
Yeah. If you haven't climbed to go to the bathrooms and climb in a boost, so
get to be there.
Yeah, no, I just did the trails around.
It's still beautiful.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Yeah, but God, I wanted this. I don't even remember who was playing. I was like, I didn't care. I want to go to this show.
Yeah. So how does that look like? For example, I think you were telling me earlier you're working on like pretty big artists right now.
Yeah,
show coming up.
When is this going to be published?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe a couple weeks from now.
A couple weeks. Okay, yeah. So I've been working on the Goo Goo Dolls today that I'm going out with next week for like 3 months. So it's going to be it's a long one. But once again, it's a lot of shows. So I have to double check and pre-check and make sure that, you know, the way we build things and do things, our daily tasks are as simplistic as possible, because you know, the smaller crews we have, the better we can do. You just have to streamline everything, you know. So,
but how does that look like when you first get the opportunity to work on like a big show like that? Does someone just call you up and say like, "Hey, check out these plans," or you know, like how's that work?
I usually get a phone call. I have a couple of different apps from a couple of different companies, but mostly people call me. Like that's. I don't call anybody. Like, you got to call.
That's great.
Like, it's a blessing. Yeah. But I actually turn down a lot of work.
And then when you agree, they send over a set of drawings, or
well, I usually get, "Are you available?" And then it's or I get the "I need you." I love that word, need.
Right.
I'm like, oh, there's that word. Yeah. So, but I get a lot of mine through networking and stuff. A lot of guys that I've just toured with and stuff over the years, they just, you know, reputation and all the things. So it's a very small industry, and I'm a big man in it. Nobody forgets me. So
that's awesome.
But you do good. I do write by text and stuff. You know, I think I lead a good crew. I've had people fight to come back and work for me, you know, which is a blessing.
Yeah.
So,
speaks out.
Yeah. So, you know, but it's just trying to make things simple. And then also too, if I do have people, repeat offenders, if I do have people come back, you know, they already know my systems. They already know my ways of doing things. So that way, you know, it makes our lives easier. Yeah. You know, so I do try to build that relationship with people and stuff like that. Or if they go on to grow from there, then maybe they can learn something from me, because that's where I've came to my craft is, like, oh, I like how you did that. Oh, I like how you did that.
And are you tasked with putting together that crew once you get that call?
Depends.
Or it just depends?
Yeah.
Sometimes they might have their own crew, and you're just organizing it.
Yep. They just they just need me as leadership. Otherwise, I like the one at Red Rocks I was talking to you about. I got to pick my whole crew, which was really nice. So worked with a lot of people that had never worked with at Red Rocks or done a show there, because it's kind of also seeing a show there is and working a show there is also a big thing to mark off people's lists.
Yeah,
I know people that have been touring.
It's a credit to your career.
Yeah. Madison Square Garden is another one.
Ramen, play the ramen.
Oh yeah.
Oh, ramen's a pretty big place.
But returns.
Yes, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and it's kind of funny though. A lot of those arena size guys that are at that level and stuff, they don't get to work the ramen and stuff like that. They're only stuck in like that size.
Heartbreaking.
And it is. It's a little And I was lucky enough to come from the bottom and work all the size venues, from like pulling gear in up a staircase and down a staircase, to arenas. And I don't really want to go past arenas to stadiums, because then it's just like it's a lot of walking to the bathroom.
The logistics are a lot.
Every day I'm just laying down playing water, and I'm like, where's
Do you count your steps?
I started counting my steps. I counted my steps one time at a festival, and I was like 77 miles in 7 days. In the in a parking lot, and I was just like, because I wanted to know how many times I walked around this park, and I was like, I'm never just keeping track.
Yeah.
I just know when my feet start hurting. That's right. So, it's challenging every single day. On top of the no sleep and working from 8 a.m. to 3 a.m., 2 a.m. the next day. So, everybody you work with and you live with on a bus, you have to make sure you get along, and, like it's a shit sandwich, but you like sure you swallow over.
I think we got our next clip. All right.
And you just keep going though. And that's you have to keep a good attitude about things. And that's the biggest thing I look for in picking people is your attitude and your work ethic. Because I can teach the rest. That's the two things I can't teach.
Right.
Is an attitude.
Too much work to work on those. Right.
I need to work. I don't even work on myself. Like, I'm done.
Also, it's like this 3-month schedule you're about to jump on with Goo Goo Dolls. How much downtime is there?
So we basically do this schedule, something they all vary once again. And that's another thing I look at whenever they ask me what I'm doing. Because I just, because sometimes you have, those 8 a.m.s to 3 a.m. or 2 a.m., 2 or 3 days in a row. Those 3 days in a row are rough. The 4-day rows are really bad. I've never done 5 yet, but 4 is the max. And you do that for 2 to 3 days, and then you would get a day or two off, and they'll just throw us all in hotel rooms and stuff.
Okay.
Kind of get away from each other. So it's not like 24/7.
Where do you usually stay when you're out?
In the bus.
In the bus?
I sleep in the bus. Driver's side, middle bunk. I have worked my ass off to get home. And that's the first thing I say on every tour. I was like, I'm pulling rank. I got the longest day. And I'm going to tell you right now, and I want to just roll in my bunk, and I want to roll right back out. I don't want to climb. I don't want to squat. I don't want to roll. And I want to squeeze. Yeah. So... but I have been on the top bunk before. My dismount looks really good.
I bet it. Well, cool. Well, thanks for sharing a little bit about, the lighting industry and, going on your road, all on the road with different shows. I think maybe we'll wrap this one up. Hope you guys found that interesting. Check us out at ProfitDig.com for the world's best costing and bidding solution. If you're in the construction industry, it makes all this possible. Some fantastic guests like Seth and Phil here.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. Hey, while you're here, subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave some comments. Let us know what you want to talk about. Check us out, ProfitDig.com. We'll see you guys soon.